Hi, I'm Dr. Melanie with Venture Chiropractic. Over the next 4 weeks for the month of March, we are paying homage to March Madness Venture Style. I am going to be basing off head-to-head various diets. Dr. Matt's going to be covering various treatments for lower back pain, and Dr. Chris is going to battle it out various exercises. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell below so you don't miss a minute of the action and you can tune in all month long.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome back. I'm Dr. Melanie with Venture Chiropractic, and we are going to start off March Madness Venture Style with 16 diet competitors. I am going to base who moves on to the next rounds based on effectiveness of the diet, health benefits, ease of use, and ability to maintain long term. There's a new diet coming on the market every 10 minutes, so by no means is this a complete list of all the diets out there. They are the ones that have had the most longevity or are very popular at the moment is what we're going to focus on. Different people need different tools, so it's really important that you figure out for you what are the tools that you need to be successful. And also check in with your healthcare team when deciding what diet is best suited for you. Some of the diets, if it's not the right one, can cause vitamin deficiencies, hormone imbalances, and other health issues that are important that your healthcare team is aware of. The few points that I want you to consider as we're moving through the board and you're thinking through the process of what might fit best with you. What is your goal? Do you have weight loss goals? Are you wanting to put on more muscle? Do you have health restrictions such as lactose or gluten intolerance? There's certain things you want to avoid for that. And also heart health focus is another big one. Those are important factors to consider. And lastly, philosophical reasons. If you're vegetarian or vegan, certain diets are going to appeal to you more than others as we process everything through. And the first diets in round one are which ones are the hardest to stick to. Those are going to be the ones that we are going to be eliminating. We want you to be successful and be able to maintain these diets for the long term. All right, we are going to jump right into the action. Our first competitors battling out our Mediterranean diet versus the zone. Mediterranean diet has been around for a very long time. It's a very well-rounded diet. Versus when we look at the zone, they treat food a little bit more like a drug. There is timing and dosage requirements needed. You have to be very tedious portion control. It's a lot harder to stick to. You also have to get a book with it. So for that reason alone, Mediterranean, because of its flexibility and ease to stick to for the long term, is moving on. Paleo versus keto, and I do have /Atkins. Keto is similar to Atkins. I wanted to give a little nod to Atkins in this group, but for this head-to-head battle, I am going to focus on paleo versus keto. I will probably ruffle a few feathers with this head-to-head, but paleo is, think caveman. Anything that can be hunted or gathered falls into this category. Keto, there are 4 main categories of keto, and when I'm talking about it in this competition, we're going to cover standard. A little fun fact, keto was originally put together for focus on neurological disorders like epilepsy, and for those health concerns is a good fit. But for the average person, keto can be challenging to stick to. 75% of your food is fat, 5% is carbs. Remember, carbs are your fruits and vegetables, and the 20% are your proteins. For that purpose alone, paleo has that 80-20 rule where you have some more flexibility, a few more food choices, and you don't get dragged down with really making sure you're eating good fats versus bad fats. So the knowledge of what food choices you're picking for keto are really important. If you don't make those good choices, there are big fluctuations in hormones and vitamin deficiencies that can occur. So please make sure you know what you're doing when you're choosing a standard keto diet. And keto also has the highest dropout rate. So for that reason, inability to maintain for the long term, paleo is taking that round. Down the list we go. Flexitarian versus raw food. This is our vegetarian group. So the vegetarians and vegans out there, these are the 2 to really focus on. Flexitarian, think flexible vegetarian. There's plant-based for sure, but they can kind of dabble in some of the other proteins. So overall, they hit your macro groups, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. Raw food, is just like its name. 75 to 80% of the food choices are plant-based, and you cannot have food over 115 degrees. So no microwave, no cooking your food on the stovetop or in the oven. Much more restrictive. Harder to maintain for the long term because the food has to be raw. You may not be able to eat out and go as many places. So sticking to our primary scorecard, ease of use, flexibility, health benefits, flexitarian wins. Our last ones on this side of the board, Biggest Loser versus Mayo Clinic. If anyone has had touch with social media, TV, you've heard of The Biggest Loser. It's a popular diet out there. There's a lot of focus on rigorous exercise routine. There's a lot of portion control. There is no white flour involved with this diet. And Mayo Clinic, let's face it, there are some smart people at the Mayo Clinic. They have put a lot of thought involved in this diet. They have their own unique food pyramid. They made a book. Their focus is good choices, in with the good choices, out with the bad. And they walk you through that process. For the fact alone of the brilliance of the Mayo Clinic and their focus on health benefits and the health needs, Mayo Clinic is going to take this one. All right, round one on this side of the board. Our first two head-to-head battle is DASH versus Belly Fat Cure. DASH has had a lot of longevity. It's a very researched diet, and it's nutritionally sound. It covers all your macros, your fats, your proteins, and your carbs in a very balanced way. Belly Fat Cure, they do not focus on calories. They focus only on carbs, and they restrict fruit and dairy. For those restrictive purposes where you can't eat as flexibly, maybe more difficult to maintain for the long term, I am giving this one hands down to DASH. Okay, volumetrics versus South Beach. Volumetrics, like the name, sounds like you're eating volumes of food. You want high volumes of food with lots of water. So a little more focus on soups, yogurts, fruits, vegetables, really good foods. The goal is to eat constantly so you stay full. Not super restrictive as long as you make sure you're making the food, the correct food choices. South Beach, this is one of your commercial diets. You may have seen this on TV. A little more prepackaged meals. You have to stick with their products. There is some education in there with the book and the guide that they have as well. A little higher in protein, a little less focus in carbs, and they have the glycemic index. So if you're unfamiliar with the glycemic index, you do need to do a little bit of research on your own. And people are busy and may not be able to take the time to read through everything to make sure they have a good grasp on that diet. So for this one, due to flexibility, able to eat what's in your pantry and go to the grocery store for those items or go out to eat to get the right things, I am going to give this round to volumetrics. Oh. All right, this is our commercial category. We have Weight Watchers versus Nutrisystem starting it off. Weight Watchers, maybe an unknown fact for some people, has been rebranded in 2018 to be known as WW. Same premise, there are some variations, so it is important to kind of read up on that to make sure what some of the changes are, but they still have a point system. They have a really good education on how to incorporate good foods into your diet and be able to maintain this outside of using set prepackaged products, and they have support for that. Nutrisystem, this is a little bit of a nod to the TV dinner. So you do have a little bit more prepackaged foods. If you do not plan ahead and make sure you have enough product available, you're going to run out and you may not have the know-how because of their program to be able to sustain that type of eating without their food. This is a little bit higher in protein and emphasis on good carbs, which is a good thing. But due to flexibility and being able to take the tips that they teach you anywhere, Weight Watchers wins this round. And our last two, wrapping up round one of our Venture Madness competition, is Slim Fast and Jenny Craig. Slim Fast, you have shakes, bars, smoothies that are all prepared. It is a meal replacement, so you are using their products to replace a few of your meals, 2 of them, and you need their products in order to be on this type of diet. Jenny Craig, similar prepackaged meals. The big difference between these two is that they have a personal consultant, support groups, and that is very important when you are with any diet or lifestyle change that you're making, that you have people that can hold you accountable, and also that the whole family can get behind. Because if you're me, I don't want to be making a new meal or a different type of meal for each individual in my family. So I want to be able to incorporate this in for everyone involved. So for the support group and being able to have more people involved with you with this diet choice, Jenny Craig is going to take this one. All right, there they are. The winners moving on to the quarterfinals. We are going to talk about them in much more detail next week. And make sure you comment, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a moment of the action, and let us know what you think regarding the diets that moved on, those that you may have questions for. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And more importantly, remember, we are here for you always at Venture to help you feel better, move better, be a better you.